Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. And today I'm here with Eric Sweeney. And I am your diet culture vampire. Bleh. I like those kind of vampires. I did love Twilight though, but I like the classic Dracula. Eric called me something offensive that we're not gonna say on the channel.
Look for it in
But
the comments.
oh my god. But he is problematic because he's Eric Sweeney. So why are you Eric Sweeney? We don't want to hear those names. No Sweeneys, no Schmidts, nothing. None of the sort here. Why are you Sweeney?
Well, apparently, I'm so problematic because I try to be such a good friend and I try to help you out, As you're on your little journey of being so skinty, I was like, let me do my part and be a good friend and, out of my goodwill, give you some clothing. And apparently, your jeans are not blue because you don't fit in them.
Honestly,
just call me your eugenics.
I don't have good genes. No, no, and that's a problem. So, Eric gave me a size 34, which I was like, I didn't realize I had to be Liv Schmidt fitting in a shopping bag to wear these jeans. I was like, this is problematic. This is triggering. Eric is trying to derail me. He gave me this is even worse. The lore goes even deeper. He gave me those jeans in 2020 as like this like purge. And I don't know who was more crazy and delusional, me as my smo self taking the jeans or him giving them to me. But regardless, I tried them on post controversial jean ad and I had flashbacks. And I was like, Eric's trying to trigger me. He's upsetting me. He's rage baiting.
No, I just thought we could be besties that share clothes. Remember, like, centuries ago when we were, like, young and relevant? When we both fit into, like, that oversized sweater I had?
Oh, sweetie. That was like I think it had to have been like a 3X or something. I don't know. And I don't know how much you weighed then, but you were not big enough for a 3X.
I don't remember, but I love me my oversized.
Yeah, you're also upsetting Samira with that too. So
Ooh, I know. Don't bring
you're
her
in trouble. You
not.
are in trouble. But anyways,
Baby, let's not bring her in.
For real. Anyways, so my whole thing is like I'm offended by the jeans, period. And I'm just kidding. No, but I still feel like a 34 is really ambitious. I'm at like a 30. I probably am like a 37 now. 38, 37, like kind of I wear a 38, but 37-ish. It kind of goes slower, as you know. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. That went on way too long. Oops, we're flops. But you guys should know that by now. So we're going to be talking about I want to keep calling it anti-diet culture. I don't know why or anti-dieting. That is not what it's called. Apparently that's part of Haze and I flopped. I don't know. I think my brain is like trying to like, it's like, just get off the fucking deficit, you stupid, insert some offensive word. I think my brain is like trying to get me there or something, but I keep wanting to call it that, but it's called reverse dieting. Like I literally gaslit myself into thinking that's what it was called. Isn't that crazy?
Gosh, I know. And you had me convinced that it was called that too, because you kept saying that over and over. That's why, you're like, it's.
I literally gaslit myself because I was looking at like a fitness YouTuber and he literally used reverse dieting. So I don't know where that came from. That came from my subconscious, I guess. I don't know. I guess anti-diet pilot seeped into my subconscious. I guess diet culture rebel, all of them. All of them. There are too many of them.
You were just so anti. You're like, riots, not diets. So you're just like, you know what? No.
I must be internally saying riots, not diets. Maybe like maybe in my brain or something. I don't know. Maybe in my dreams. I don't know.
Somewhere.
But clearly I'm too much of a mystic girly So I'm losing it. But anyways, it is called reverse dieting. Reverse dieting. So that is where you slowly get out of a deficit and you do it slowly and steadily. And on this channel, I'm going to advocate for that for a lot of reasons. And I felt like it was good to have Eric on here because he just did it literally like when did you do it? You just did it.
At this rate, it was about like I think literally like I think in a few days it's literally gonna be a month actually that I did it because obviously as
Okay.
yeah, so it's gonna be a month actually. So it's been a month of like freedom and like living my life, you know. So quite lovely, I must say.
And when did you start it? So how many weeks did you do it?
So it took me okay, because so 4, 7. It took me 8 weeks.
Okay.
It would have been 7, but because you visited and ruined my life, I had to prolong it for a week, you know?
Oh my gosh.
So it took me 8 because like I said, that one week.
Well, you triggered me with those jeans, so it is what it is.
I guess you had to get your revenge and like get me to eat. but
Apparently, but
yeah, so I guess technically it would have been 7, but it took me 8 because of that reason. So 8 weeks, I guess you could say.
okay. So for me, I'll be doing 9 weeks, ending on Christmas. I just started the 23rd. And basically, we're going to be talking about it. So we both did about 100. I keep wanting to say 100 pounds. Gosh, I'm so used to saying that. That is so weird. 100 calories, which, by the way, is 2 of these. These 2 are 100 calories. This is what you added each week.
Yeah.
It's a slow drip and it is frustrating, but I think there's a lot of good reasons to do it. And Eric's going to come at it just from a purely vanity sense of like dead ass. He told me I didn't want to be bloated because I wanted to look good. And I'm going to come at it from my brain is totally fried and I have to slowly get out of this for me to not like just go crazy and just eat a lot and then like gain a bunch of weight that I worked so fucking hard to lose. It is tough.
Oh yeah.
So okay. So first and foremost, I need to complain to Eric again. Tell for okay, literally when I dove into this, I don't even know. I've been waiting for this. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Your moment.
this is my moment. And my brain is only half functioning. But when I was getting into this vanity deficit, I talked to Eric on the phone and I was like, why didn't you tell me it was this bad? And tell me, why didn't you tell me?
I didn't tell you it was this bad because you wouldn't believe me. Because you'd be like, oh my gosh, like this isn't so bad. I don't like the being like restricted or whatever, but it's not that bad. You're like, it's like okay, I dislike it, but you weren't like I hate it, like I'm miserable. And I was just like, I can't say anything because then you're gonna be like, shut up, you're just being dramatic and I'm like, you know what? I was like, everybody has to come to that place and realization on their own. I was like, so I will wait when he gets there, and then when he gets there, he will tell me how miserable he is. And you get there, and what do you start doing?
So I need to ask you because this is literally what killed the MSP era. It literally killed it. What was that like to witness from the outside? Like I'm this crazy, I'm like, I'm not boy crazy at 38. Not there, but I was crazy. I was still very so high school in my mid-size era. What was that like to watch all that like floppitude in June of flopping? Like it was crazy. I was like Magikarp. I felt like Okay, am I back?
Yeah, I can
Am
hear you.
Okay. So why is my internet doing this? I'm being sabotaged.
I don't know. It's just proving you really are flopping around like a magic car.
Yeah, I was just like with my internet. No, but I was flopping around in June. What was it like to see me go from like total floppitude and like every day I'm like, and I'm like Alfalfa. I literally have Alfalfa here, and I was going for it like hardcore, and I could just go. And then what was that like in July to just see it all just collapse? Like, and it kind of died pretty fast. But what was that like from the outside?
I mean, it was interesting, but like to me, like someone who's not running like on emotions and more logical, I'm like, there it is. It makes sense. There's the nosedive because you just, it's so dramatic to say out loud, but it's so real because
Yeah,
because I'm like the slash of calories is so real, and it's just like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, like all of a sudden, like whatever energy you have and like whatnot, you need it. You need it just for like your basic functions in everyday life, and you don't have time
Yeah.
to be dancing awkwardly like Flopova. Just like,
No, I
oh,
can't be doing those dances on the dance floor. I'm gone. I was gone. I was like, oh my God. And then I mean, I think like what is the diet culture vampire? The diet culture vampire is essentially it's a character that represents the feeling of being in a deep deficit for an extended period of time to where you have no energy left, possibly struggling with anemia. I think iron deficient anemia is common in diet culture because depending on how long you're in it, some people love diet culture. They stay in it for like literally like 2 years, which I'm like, you guys are killing me. Like, I'm done. Like, I hate it already after like 3 months. But it's like some people love it. They love like eating all the, you know, low fat popcorn and just stuff like that all the time. The fat free, um, what is it? Fat free whipping cream or whipped cream. I've been having that, but they like to have all that kind of stuff. And then you're always advised to not have red meat because it has higher calories. So it's a lot of chicken and turkey and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of people turn pale and, you know, so I think it works for the diet culture vampire. And then it's the lack of energy and it affects sleep too. It makes it hard to sleep. It does a lot of stuff.
that
So,
does.
what were some of your experiences? Because this is the reason why we're bringing this up is this is part of why you have to get out. Basically, it's like these are all the things that happen to where it's like, okay, I have to do this now, like, or I got to get out. Um, especially if you need a break at least if you're not quite at whatever goal you're trying to get to. Like, what would be some physical signs in your opinion that a person would need to take a break from a deficit? Like if they were going from an aesthetic perspective.
Um, I would say like physical signs for sure are like you just can't perform or function like how you would in a daily routine where it's like okay like obviously when you first like reduce your intake like because obviously the lower you get
Mhm,
the more you have to keep slashing and
mhm,
to me it's like you can't do what you could do before or it's like whether it's a certain workout or it's like a task that you do in everyday life a job or something whatever it is if like that just becomes harder and like you can't even complete that anymore, I'd be like, oh, maybe it's time to like look and be like, ooh, I don't know about this right now, or maybe I should up my caloric intake or something because I'm just like,
mhm.
oh, that's not normal. Because like if I started like not being able to work or if
Yeah,
dogs, for example, is such a drag and I can't even do like because I like taking them out for at least 25 minutes at a time.
yeah,
And if I can only do like 10 minutes, I'm like, ooh, that's not good because that's
yeah,
something I was able to do, and now all of a sudden it's like I can't do that anymore, and I'm like that's not normal. So it's just like
yeah,
something wrong. So I just think things that you could do normally before, whatever you want to define as normal, even if it's like
yeah.
with not the most energy, because again, deficit equals not
It's tough.
being there.
Yeah, and I think too for me there is a huge difference between August and now. Like, it
Yeah.
is so much worse now, and it's like, I do think that it does have to do with the length of time, and you also have to consider, am I losing 2 pounds per week or less? If you're losing less, you usually can handle it better, and
Yeah.
a lot of the people that do 2 pounds, it typically is men or taller people, basically, or maybe, like, some tall women, but it's very intense when you're not actually overweight anymore, and so it's like, oof, like you said, you might wanna consider doing 1 pound per week. The one the one bodybuilder that I saw, he was doing 1 pound per week, and he's about my height, he's 6'1". I don't remember how much he weighs, but he's totally, shredded or whatever, but he was
Yeah.
doing, like, 2,100, and then he would do, like, oh, tons of steps and, exercise and all that stuff, but he was kinda doing all that, and, that was 1 pound. So it's
Mhm.
like even your typical, like, bodybuilder, they're typically gonna do 1 pound per week. So if you're going 2, it's very aggressive, and I know, Eric, you did that the last month, and it was crazy.
Um,
And,
it
yeah,
was
I noticed a difference in you with that one.
no, it was quite terrible for sure because there was no need for me to do 2 pounds a week, to be honest. But I think I've said it on here before, but I'll say it again. It took me way too damn long to like
Yeah.
lose the weight, But that's my fault. I'm not gonna be one of those people where it's like, oh my god, I was in a deficit and I'm just not losing weight. What?
Yeah.
Like that wasn't the case. It's just like, no, your boy loves KBBQ. Your boy knows too many people, and they're like, you want to go? Let's go party at an Ace, all you can eat. And I was like, hell yeah. So I'd go. And then, as you know, when you're like in lower margins, it's really hard. You have to be so like precise or so
Yeah.
careful, you know? So it's like one slip up of an all you can eat, and I can put it down, especially when you're hungry. I'm like, I'm going to eat,
Yes.
It's like I'm like a bottomless pit that day that I go. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to eat everything. Um,
Yeah.
so, and that's what I would do. And I just got tired of it because I'm like, okay, because even if it was like, because honestly, I wasn't like miserable at 1 pound, even a pound and a half. I wouldn't say I was just like hunky dory, but I wasn't miserable. I was just like, well, this isn't fun. I mean, weight loss isn't fun though. But I
Yeah.
was just, this is meh. But as soon as I revved it up to 2 pounds a week,
It's really bad.
oh my God, I was miserable because my lowest, and again, like 2 pounds is obviously like next level. It's the highest level because there's no going further than
Yeah.
safely, anyways. So it's just like, no, it's 2 pounds. That's the max. That's full gas, like full speed ahead. And
Yeah.
my lowest, according to the app that I use and calculated with my activity level and whatnot and blah, 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 I was like, oh, your deficit is 1640 a day, you know?
1640?
Yeah,
Oh,
1640. And I was just like, oh my God, like that's
yeah.
so low. And
That's ungodly low. That's a
uh,
nightmare.
I was like, ooh, and obviously I had my thoughts where I was like, ooh, I don't know about this anymore. Like, I don't
That's a
know.
nightmare for us, you guys. Some of the ones, or some of you guys who are watching are probably like short girlies. You're like, I could live off of that forever. Not us, babe. I don't even know what the equivalent would be. It is like death. The lowest I got to was 1928, and I was like, oh my God, I can't even function now. But I am like, Erica's more like, I do have grit, but Eric is more like vanity grit. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's like you care enough about the look to do it. I don't care enough. Like I did it to survive. Like I still think Super Morbid was worse than this, but honey, the end of this is literally worse than Morbid. It's that bad, but it's still not as bad as Super Morbid. Super Morbid is like a whole other planet though. It is crazy. It is really crazy to lose in that. But it's literally, I think it might actually be worse. Or it's like, ooh, it's really bad. Like it's at least neck and neck with Morbid, or it is actually worse. Because I've been getting depressed now. Like when I was Morbid, I've been I can't even think. You can see, I can't even think. I'm like what all the fat activists say when they're like, when you diet, this is what happens to you. I'm becoming the example. I'm the diet culture vampire. I just tell you to cope harder. And I tell you that skinny is more than a feeling.
Oh
That's all
God,
I say now.
no, it's real intense.
Yeah.
It's awful, and like even me, like yeah, sure, I had the grit, but I still had to switch things around. Like I was telling you,
Yeah. You were dying.
I was like, okay, because I like swimming, and I'm just like, oh, like, because I usually would do splits when it came to like my weighted workouts because I was still lifting weights. Um, and you know, it'd be like, oh, Monday is like this portion of upper body, Tuesday's legs, Wednesday's like still upper body, but a little different portions with some similar parts again. And I realized I was like, I can't do this. I can't do 1640 every day. Um, you know, with like uh, workouts. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do full body. That way I can give myself more of like a calorie bank or like allowance and eat more.
Yeah.
And even though I worked out more, it still felt so great, like eating more. I was like, oh my God, like functioning minimal energy. Not even like I'm thriving, just functioning minimal energy. Like this is nice. And
You guys know how Eric is all like bubbly? He wasn't at all. Nothing. It
I
was
was
like,
I was so dry. Like
yeah. He was just like da 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 da. You know, he has an he for my Astro Girlies, he has an Aquarius moon. He was just pure aqua. And he's actually a Pisces, but he was just pure aqua. It's like he would talk to you and it's like just the facts, like almost like robotic, just robot mode.
it was terrible. I just did not have the energy for all the
Mhm.
extra and all that. Like I was like, I can't do it.
No.
And like I had to switch everything up. Like I told you too. I'm like, I loved doing swimming on my off days when I was like losing like 1 pound or something, and then I hit the 2 pounds, and I was like, yeah, we're not swimming anymore. I was like, that's out. I was like, I'm not swimming on the off day of like the 1640 calories. I was like, nope. I guess swimming's on the not happening right now. So it
Yeah, that's
it does
right.
affect a lot of things too. I was like, my sleep was like ass.
Yeah.
And I just yeah no I found myself really dry. Like I did not have the because normally like I don't care about a lot of problems. Like people like you know my friends, a lot of people talk to me about like silly things, and I'm like that's so pedestrian.
Yeah. He likes to quote Claire from my Degrassi peeps.
Oh, I do.
Also Pisces. Claire is also a Pisces.
No, she's amazing. She's incredible. And I came across a new scene where she's like looking in the mirror, fluffing up her hair, and she's like, "See, pedestrian problems." And I'm just like, "Girl, yeah." But that was really me during the deficit too. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
care. Like, I don't care. And like, normally I don't, but I can at least pretend to, if I can be like, oh, sweetie, like that's crazy, you know. But during the deficit, I was just like, okay, like, anybody got it? Nothing. Okay, cool. Next topic. You know.
Diet culture vampire vibes. No, and I think for me, I guess because I'm such a feeler, I'm losing all ability to think. So for me, it's like the reverse or like the opposite, where Eric's a thinker, so he just lost all feeling. I'm losing all brain and logic. Like I'm like, what is butter a carb? You know, like I'm on that level where I'm like, what was I even saying? I think one day Eric actually talked to me about like he told me a story and I literally listened to him and everything and I didn't remember any of it. And it's like literally the next day I had 100 more calories and he told it to me again and it was like I never heard it. That is crazy. I'm never like that. So I'm like I literally cannot think at all. And
Yeah.
then I'm introverted, so it's like I'm starting to feel like I don't want to talk to anybody ever. And I'm like, "Ooh, well, that's like gonna shoot my job in the foot. Like, what the fuck? This is my job. I have to talk." So then I'm like, "Oh," and then like I have bitched out a couple times in the comments, but I just have zero patience with it. Like I get into this like again, it's very vampiric. It's like half the time I'm like this. And then when somebody says something or something and I get pissed and I'm like, then I'm like, "Bleh," and it's like, what the hell are you saying to me? And then I like go back to this. That's all I got. It's like this one time, I think it was a girl, I don't know. Somebody like honked at me at a stop sign and I flipped them off. And then I think it was a woman and she was like, "You little bitch." And I was like, And I flipped her off again, and I just went into like that vampire mode, where it's like I just go for it. And then sometimes this is so bad to say, but like I literally doubt my ability to drive occasionally. Like it's bad. So it's like when you're really not able to drive, or like there's a lot of times I feel like I'm drunk or something, not while I'm driving, but I'm just saying like in general, where it's like I can't, I'm like, what? Like I said, I'm literally like, is butter a carb? Like I'm on that level. Again, my subconscious was convinced this was called anti-dieting. And it was like, I don't know, like I still want to call it that. And it's like, no, that's not what it's called. Like it's really weird. And then it finally crescendoed. So where I finally was like, I cannot fucking do this anymore, is I had to wear this Australian jacket because I don't have enough jackets. And I need to wear jackets to the gym now because I'm freezing and it's like 70 degrees. I don't even know what that is in Celsius. You guys will have to look that up, but it's not that cold. I don't even know. It is not that cold. It's it's like 70 degrees and I have to wear a jacket in the gym because I'm freezing. So it's like, and then I had this Australia jacket that I bought like 10 years ago. And it's like, oh my gosh. And like my ex is Australian. And then I'm just thinking about him. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. Then I think about this and I'm like, oh, my dreams. And I bought this 10 years ago. And I was trying to fit in this 10 years ago. And it took me this long. And it's like, then my brain is just like, da 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 da. It's like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like emotional as a person. So that's like my brain is just going, going, going. And then I'm starting to piss myself off, like internally, where it's like my own reflections are actually pissing me off or making me want to cry because it's like that meme where it's like, my ability to research top tier, my ability to handle what I find 0 or whatever. That's basically me. It's like I'm really good at going deep and stuff, but sometimes like when it comes to like personal stuff or romantic, especially like romantic stuff, again, not boy crazy at 38, but maybe a little bit boy crazy at 33. I cannot handle it. I'm always like, and then I get all triggered and then I'm like, oh my gosh. And so it's like, and then I was like, how could he do that? And how this? And then I just think about all this shit and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so over this. I'm so fucking over this. I'm done. And so then I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, because I can't function. So it's like I can't function in work. I can't function in life. Like I'm starting to be like, ooh, like, ooh. It's like I need to stop working now. Like I have to stop driving. Like literally, it's like, and then the jacket gate was finally where I was like, I'm done. So
Yeah.
obviously you hit your goal and that's why you were done. Um, but you went like 1 month, I think you said?
1 month, yeah.
Yeah. So I did 3. So I'm like, "Ooh, honey, no." Like I me and Eric just watched this pretty basic movie, like 147 meters down. I'm stuck at the bottom of the shark cage at the bottom of the ocean and I can't breathe and I had to switch my tank and now I'm hallucinating. Like that's the level of this deficit that I'm on. That's the level of depth I cannot deal. So then we start to turn it around. So when you get to the reverse dieting phase, what do you think are some of the biggest obstacles people face?
I think definitely number one is like, again, you're like done in the sense where it's like the end is in sight, where you're like,
Mhm.
okay, there's no more having to adjust this or fix that or like work around this. It's like it's there. I'm done. Because like when I was getting out of it, I didn't have this problem per se, but I could see somebody else definitely having it, where it's just like, oh my gosh, well I'm just done. I'm just gonna go into maintenance tomorrow. Forget everything. And I'm just like, oh, I could see that being a little risky for some people. Not necessarily out of
Mhm.
like ED stuff, but just because it's like you're free kind of. So it's like you just
Mhm.
want to like eat again. You just want to eat a
When you're
lot.
hungrier. You are hungrier
Hmm.
after a deficit too, and people don't think about that. Like, I don't even know who would be a good person to not do this. It's like maybe if you're just midline, like maybe you're just kinda like mid-size and you're just like, "Oh, I wanna take a break," and then you kinda just stop, maybe that would be okay, but it's like when you're in a vanity weight, you don't want to gain anything. I don't want to gain a single drop of fat. I don't want to gain anything because the pain it takes to get it off,
Yeah.
never. I'm like over my dead fucking body. Like, again, I go into full on vampire mode where it's like I'm hissing and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Period. It's like I didn't do any of that for nothing. So I think that that's, but I think me and Eric were very good, like extreme examples where Eric is like extremely vain. And then I'm like, I've come from a huge size over so many years, like, and my brain is just so adapted to weight loss that the shift is too powerful to just go off completely. It's just too much. Even on a physical level, it's too much. Like, it makes me feel kind of sick. And I think especially with how deep I was and in this vanity, especially like this vanity zone, I'd get really nauseated probably if I started just eating a lot or, it's just, I have to really go slow with it because the body has to adjust. Basically, that's where I'm at. But your reason was mostly, you told me it was mostly because you didn't do all the work to then be bloated, basically.
It was like that. It made me think of my keto recovery, like when I quit keto. And like I could have just gone hog wild and again just gone for rice, gone for potatoes. Again, not necessarily like cakes and like super junk food. I just mean like I could have just gone for it and been like, I'm eating rice, I'm eating potatoes, like, I don't care. And I could have essentially done the same here where it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna eat. Like I'm just gonna go to my maintenance, which for me is 2,700 calories. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go into my maintenance, like, period. But I'm just like, I don't want to do that because it's like, oh gosh, it's like, first of all, it's like face card's already gonna get declined somewhere because it's like, oh my gosh, like I really just look so beat up and so like oof, And it's like on top of that, like I'd be like bloated or swollen and like looking a mess, and I'm just like, I just can't look a mess everywhere. I'm like, I've already like sacrificed a lot and given up a lot to like, to hit my goal and do the 2 pounds like a week. And I was like, I don't want to be bloated at all. Cause it's like, then it's like, I did all this. And then with the bloat, I would acquire or accumulate or the weight gain that I would get, which wouldn't be like, it's not like I'm going to gain a bajillion pounds,
No.
Just like, yeah. Cause a lot of people like assume that too. And it's like, no, honey, I'm not gonna, unless I'm like, overeating to the max. But it's like, I wouldn't do that.
No.
It's not a bajillion pounds, but still, to me, it's just, it'd be irritating because, again, we all do at this rate, right? It's called, at this point, it's called vanity. But it's like, but I am definitely like next level with it. It's like, okay, you already look like a raccoon with your bags, It's like your skin looks a little beat up, like dry or whatever. So it's just like, I don't want to be bloated on top of that because then it's like, oh gosh, give me something at least, So it's like, that's why I started going up slowly too, because I'm like, and again, the first week, nothing, didn't help, didn't count. 100
that's where I'm at. And I'm like,
I didn't
it's these two, you guys. That's the difference.
No, that wasn't anything. The following week 2, when it was 200, I was like, oh, this is nice. Again, I didn't feel amazing. It's not like I'm alive again, but I was like, oh, I feel better. Like I do feel better, And that's so sad because I'm just like, oh gosh, like not 200 calories, like making me feel a lot better. And I'm like, oh, wow, But yeah, no, I definitely did it. I did that out of vanity because I was like, I cannot look just a mess all around because then it's like, obviously I know logically, or it's just like, okay, like I said, I'm not gaining a bajillion pounds and blah, blah, blah. It'll all simmer down maybe. But I just didn't want to risk it because I'm just like, okay, look, because I just wouldn't feel good, personally with myself, like on a vanity. Like, it's not like I'm looking in the mirror and having like a Degrassi episode like Emma, where I'm like, ugh, like I look disgusting.
I know.
I need to go extreme, like next level again, like,
Well, also too, like you might even gain a pound or something as your body like speeds up again. And at this margin, like people don't get, like it's a lot of work and you don't want to gain even that. I don't want to gain anything. 0 during this process, like nothing. Like I will be pissed. And I'm talking about fat. I'm not talking about water. Water can be all over the place, but it's like Fat, no, you're in control of that. And it's like, no, I'm not gaining anything. And I'm going to let my metabolism speed up and slowly rise up to the occasion. And I think that that's part of it too, is like when you're doing it for vanity, it's hard. And it's like you don't want to lose any of the effort that you put in at all. So people might think if they're very big, they'll be like 1 pound. That's not a big deal. It'll be a big deal one day if you keep going. To me, it's a big deal now. I'm like, no.
No, absolutely, because it's like, yeah, removing myself from like the personal experience, like I told you, it's like, oh, if I get to like, if I gain weight, I'm just like, oh, well, I could just take X amount to lose it again. But then I actually like think about like what it was like, and I'm like, oof,
Yeah.
I can't do that again. I'm like, that was terrible. That's not,
Let's not.
yeah, because like I told you, I was so happy in the beginning. I was like, oh my God, this is cute. Look at the weight just fall off. And then as you get lower and lower, it's like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Yeah,
So I was like, what? Um,
it really is. I
and that's
mean,
why like,
it's shocking how bad
yeah,
it is.
it's terrible. So that's why I'm like, even 5 pounds, I'm like, oof,
No,
that sweetie. you know?
no. And I don't judge people who are like, okay, I'm gonna take a break and then I want to do it again. I totally get it. I'm not, but I'm not a vain person. So it's like, this killed me. Like, it took everything. Like, I had certain commenters, they were like, oh, da 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 da. Well, like they were like assuming that I was super vain, basically, which I get it because this is a vanity weight era, but it's like, no, I literally am only doing this for like some kind of spiritual purpose and growth and like for the benefit of other people in my job. I literally don't give a fuck. And that's hard for people to understand, but it's because like there just aren't a lot of people like me in this space. There's plenty of people like me out in the world that don't actually care that much, obviously. But it's like most people that are in fitness and all that stuff, they care. And for most people that pursue fitness, that is like a big part of it is vanity, which is fine. I'm not even judging it. I'm just saying for me, it wasn't that way. So it's like I had to like fight myself every single day to be like, this matters. This does matter, Alex. It matters. It matters. And I'd be like, it matters. And I'm like, okay, and it's like, no, it was tough. That part of it was hard, but that's why it's like I don't want to go back at all because I don't ever want to have to lose that again. And I'm still not completely satisfied to like I want to be around 185, but I'm going to go very slow. And I'm never doing this again. I don't think I'm ever going to do like a cut or anything. I'm just going to go super slow, maybe like half a pound a week status, very tiny amounts next year. And just, I want it to not even feel it, basically. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't even want to be able to tell that I'm in one because I'm over it.
Yeah.
And, call me Flopsha, but I earned the right to be like this. So I did. I've done it for years.
That's true.
I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
a veteran. It's a wrap. But anyways, so do you have any, I guess we can talk, I'll talk about some of the psychological things too. I think if you're coming at it from where I'm coming at it, your brain does change because your brain adapts after losing for literally years. Your brain shifts. I notice a lot of shifts around like serotonin and dopamine. I talk about that all the time with you guys. And your hormones are just trashed flat out. Like I think everything is low. Like by the time you get to this point, if you're coming from like a very big size, I think all your hormones are pretty much trashed at this point because it's just such a long time. And so when you start to introduce more food in, the first thing I've noticed is my serotonin is going up. So it's like I'm getting stiffer. And this is literally with 100 calories. I'm stiffer all over my body and I start having nightmares and like weird dreams and stuff. And even night sweats and things like that, which is it's a lot of serotonin stuff. I have a migraine right now as I'm doing this. Like it's totally shifting, but that's not a bad thing. It's good to have serotonin in the brain because that's it helps regulate your appetite. So when it's going up, it's kind of like giving your brain a more of a thin person profile. So eventually, as I go up, my appetite will continue to go down, especially doing it so slowly. And so then it'll be too much to eat like 3,000 calories. I'll be like, oh, I'm too full. And it'll be more like the maintenance of like 2,800, which is where I'm going to be at about 2,800 ish by the end, as I will still weigh more than Eric. And he'll love that forever. And I'm just kidding, because he's competitive and toxic, and he's just, he gives me jeans that are too small, and the whole shebang. But
Gosh, so
yeah, I'll have a higher caloric amount. So I need that to be like, oh, I'm totally full at that level. Whereas like when I've gone to LA, it's like, I mean, I don't even know. Like I could eat a lot, when I was going, especially in March. I think in March it was like wild. I think I literally told you guys I ate the world. I ate so much in March, but I was so hypo and I was messed up in March, like on so many levels. And yeah, I did not want to do that, because I think I gained quite a bit. Like I really think so. I think I gained like maybe 3 or 4 pounds in March when I visited. Isn't that crazy? That's a lot in 1 week. Like it was like less than a week or something. That's a lot. But
I mean, hey, big appetites.
well, I mean, it's also long haul weight loss. It's like it happens if you're just in a deficit forever. Like my deficit, especially the past 2 years, I was in a deficit from January, like the beginning of the year, or even late December of 2020. No, January 1st, 2024. I was in a deficit all the way. Some of it was shallow, because when I was morbid, I was still too hungry. So I'd have to eat more some days over the summer. But then I was still in a deficit all the way through the rest of 2024 until I got to December, and I took 3 weeks off in December, 3. And I had somebody, they were like, well, you just went crazy over the holidays. I was like, excuse me, over the holidays? I was like, I ate more for 3 weeks. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I get irritated sometimes when it's like, I literally tell you guys what I do. Do not tell me what I'm doing. Somebody tried to do that today. Sorry, it's a little chapel-y, but somebody tried to do that today, and it caused a vampiric reaction, and they deleted their comment. But they were like, don't say that you're swollen. Like, just talk like you're enjoying holiday food. No, I'm not, you fucking bitch. I'm still in a deficit. I'm still at 900 calorie deficit. Like, fuck you. I'm enjoying the holiday food. Up your ass. Do not tell me what I'm doing, you stupid bitch. That's what I felt like. And I didn't say that necessarily. I wrote it out and I said, I'm still counting, you dip. And they were telling me I was acting like a fat acceptance activist for saying I'm swelling. Honey, if I'm in a deep ass fuck deficit to where I can barely function, clearly I'm not gaining weight. It's clearly water.
Yeah.
Like, get a grip, get a clue. But anyways, and I've told you guys when I've eaten it. It's like I would get it if I was a channel that like lied about that stuff. Honey, no. I ate a lot in July too. I don't think I could top March. March was like, wow. I mean, I really ate in March. Like I think about it and I'm like, damn. I really was like, I was hungry, basically.
Yeah.
But in July, I was strategically eating a lot, because I was like, I know I'm going into this super strict diet culture phase. So I need to kind of get up put the calories up really high so that it will come off. And that's what I did. And it worked. But it was strategic. It was not like I wasn't that hungry. It was more like a diet culture bullshit type of thing I was doing, which it worked.
Mhm.
But the point is, like, I tell you guys, I'm like, oh yeah, I gained some weight when I went. I gained some weight here. I think when I went to Austin, I think I stayed even. It was pretty even. But it's like, I'm honest with you guys. I even told you guys, like in 2023, in November, I gained 10 pounds. That's a lot. And I was still super morbidly obese. I was eating like 8,000 calories some days. I was so hungry during that phase. But I've always told you guys. So I'm like, I'm telling you what I'm doing. Do not tell me what I'm doing. I'm very upfront. I've always been upfront about that. And honey, I'm still 900 calorie deficit and telling you, I feel it every day. So it's like, don't even.
For real though.
Anyways, do you have any, I guess, like as we get towards the end of this, do you have any advice for people that do not an anti-diet, sorry, that do a reverse diet?
I think just like, not to sound like, you know, the glass is always half full and like, oh my gosh, like there's nothing bad or blah blah blah. But I think it's just like focus on the mental aspect of like it's over and it's done. Even though like you're still
Mhm.
obviously doing the process of getting out by upping your calories slowly. Like I said earlier, there's no having to like, okay, well now I lost another pound, so I have to redo my calories.
Yeah, it's
But you
not
know what
gonna go lower. Yeah,
that's
that does help.
because like I told you, the first day I knew I'm adding 100 calories. There was such a mental lift, like like
Me too.
I was still physically fatigued, but mentally, it's like it was just so nice to be like, oh, I'm done. Like I'm on the way out,
Mhm.
and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is great because there's no more figuring this out, figuring that out. Oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this gym stuff? Or like, oh my days, I need to be so careful with them. Blah blah. Like, obviously, you still kind of have to be when
Yeah.
you're at the lower end of the increase, but at least there's no more like it's like you're in jail or prison, I guess. You know your release date is coming. You went to court and they're like, you're out this day. And you're like, oh my God, yes. Like no more
Right.
jumpsuit. I'm done. Um, so it's just like it's amazing and like just don't forget that. Or it's like it's done. It's over. You just have to go through the process, which I understand is still not fun.
It's really hard.
And
Yeah.
hopefully for everybody else that does it too, yourself included, I am hoping that it was like for me, where by week 2, the extra 200 calories were incredible. Again, not
Mhm.
thriving, but incredible in the sense where it's like, oh, I feel life being like,
Mhm.
coming back into me slowly, Like I was a plant that was wilting, but now I'm like, oh, okay, there's like, I'm standing up a little bit again. Like I'm coming back to life.
Yeah.
And obviously, like that was just week 2 with 200 calories. Obviously, as it kept going up, like week 3, 300 calories, I was like, oh, bitch. Like, it just kept going up.
Yeah, of
The
course.
first week, that's just kind of like, again, for me at least, and I'm hoping it's like that for everyone, where it's just week 1 that's awful. And then week 2, you're like, oh my gosh. And then week 3, you're like, hell yeah. Week 4, baby, that's 400 calories. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's incredible. You just keep doing fabulous after that?
Yeah. Well, I
Or
think once you get to 500, then it's like, then you're in that 1 pound zone, which is not that bad. And then you kind of just climb out. And for me, it'll hit like, I think November will still be hard. But December should be easy because that in December, that's when I'm getting to those nice amount of calories. And then it ends perfectly on Christmas, which is perfect. But I think for me, I did cry a little bit just because there is something about knowing it's not going to get harder. I think there is something to say about having to reduce and then like reorganize your food and stuff each time and knowing that I'm never going to have to do that again. And
yeah.
that part is like, that is magic. That is like, oh, that's such a relief. I do want to add to, which I want your thoughts on this, but this is my thought. I think not weighing in during the process is good because that can also be another weight off of you where it's like, I don't have to think about that either. Because for me, I know I'm not going to weigh in during this process. And that is a huge relief to me personally. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, because whether you hit a goal or you didn't, like again, whether you hit the goal or whether you're like, I just can't do this because I can't function anymore, whichever way you're coming in from, that does help a lot too. Because obviously, I mean, I don't really weigh myself right now, anyways, because again, it's more like visual at this point for me. I'm looking in the mirror
Mhm.
and I'm just like, oh, okay, we're looking good, looking hot. But then again, that's a little tricky for me right now because hypo. Um,
I know it's
so
going around. I have it too. I'm getting like today I had the weird effect, which I've never had in my life because I'm feeling hypo. I think it's happening. But where my body was de-swelling a bit, and then I have the puffy moon face a little bit. And I was like, oh, that's weird. So I see that in fitness bros a lot. You see that. I think they're really hypo because it's like you could see the moon coming in. A lot of fitness guys are hypo. They don't even know though, probably, but they overtrain. If you can get it from overtraining.
Definitely. But I guess to go back to answer your question, no, I think it definitely helps too because that's another like mental lift because you no longer per se have to worry where it's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, is this like, am I doing it? Am I doing it correctly? Am I actually in the deficit or like am I like gaslighting myself? Am I doing it wrong? You don't need that confirmation anymore.
Mhm.
Where it's just like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing it because that doesn't matter anymore because like you're on your way to not recovery but you're on your way out. So it's like
Mhm.
that's not really that important anymore because it's like, oh, okay, like again, A, I hit my goal, or B, I'm just done, I can't do it anymore,
Mhm.
like
I'm
I've
taking a break.
exhausted,
Yeah.
yeah, I've exhausted all my reserves or I just literally can't do it because again, everyone's situation is different.
Yeah.
Totally depends on everyone. Again, I would not expect like a parent with kids and a career and all that to do it.
No,
No,
it's
absolutely
too
not.
much.
But or even someone who's like on their own, but they have such a busy lifestyle, and it's like, yeah, I don't expect that. It's hard, Like I have the privilege of being a basic bitch a lot of the time, and just I have the option to tell
Fellow
myself,
orange. Mhm.
literally. So it's like, oh, well, grandmother. But
Orange, orange at the bottom of the basket for you guys that don't know what that means, but we've talked about that. Basically means single and 30.
no,
So
definitely,
single, childless, 30 plus.
I know, and it helps
Mhm.
just like having the option of like hiding yourself away from the world, locking in whatever you want to call it,
Yeah,
right? But no, I think the not weighing yourself thing is really helpful too
I
because
think so
that's like
too.
another because it's not like I don't know if added stress is the right word when you're in a deficit, but it's definitely something like you have to be mindful and tracking because
Yeah, you do.
oh my gosh, it's like again, because you need the confirmation where it's like I'm doing it right, I'm working on it. And then it is a little
Mhm.
disheartening in my opinion when I was losing the weight and all that and it's like, oh, my muscle.
Mhm.
Um because I'm just like, damn, that sucks because it's like it's hard to like build up hardish, not hard as we've established, baby. Extra calories, we just got to lift harder, but we can eat more. Sign me up, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm one
Yeah,
of those
I have
person.
to do a lot of I have to do body comp work, so I have to still kind of be maybe like slight deficit-ish, but
Yeah,
honey, compared to this, it'll be nothing. Gosh. But yeah, I mean, it's so yeah. It is I think for us it's easier to eat more.
oh, absolutely, 1,000%. Yeah, boy.
Some people it's not. I don't think it's true for everybody, so I would never be like, "Oh, it's a blanket statement that it's always easier to bulk." I don't think so. I think for some people it is harder. It depends on, like, your brain and all that, but not for me and not for you. It's easy.
No, absolutely not. And especially because I told you too the other day where it's just like, oh, like I get that we have to put in more work in the lifting, like going up in weight. But I'm just like, but again, we were already lifting in a deficit, which is so
It's
hard.
so horrible. I
So
know.
I'm just
It's
like, oh,
horrible.
that hard work translates. The only difference is that I have the energy, which
Yeah.
in my opinion would make it a little easier. Sure, the lifting is going to be hard because I'm like, oh, this weight is
Yeah.
heavy, but it's like, but I have the energy to do it. I'm not in a deficit where it's like, oh my gosh, need to
I
hold
know. It's
with my,
horrible.
you know. So again, sign me up for that as a big bitch. I'm down. So uh,
Yeah, it's just I mean, I can see it, like, when I was bigger, I think it is easier to lose, like, not super huge, obviously, then it's, like, horrible in different ways, or it's harder in different ways, but, like, when I was mid and when I was small fat, especially mid-size, I'm like, that was so easy, like, I think about it, I could build so much muscle, I was getting stronger and stronger every time I went to the gym, I could just do everything, it was crazy, and all in a deficit, and it's like it was helping me save money because I was not eating as much, and it was just so easy. And it's like, I'm sorry, but I'm never gonna be mid acceptance on this channel. I'm like, you guys need to get it together. Like, people just don't want to go to the gym. They just don't. And it's like, you need to go to the gym if you're mid and you're gonna lose it. Like, you're gonna be fine if you gym it up. People just are like, well, I don't want to go to the gym to lose weight. Go to the fucking gym if you're mid. It'll come off. It takes like 5 months. It doesn't take that long. Like, just bite the bullet. But and it's so worth it to not be mid. I just have to say that. But yeah, it was, so I think that is like easy compared to bulking, because bulking, it's still like, you're very sore and it's hard to eat when you're not hungry sometimes. Like, I felt that way in July because, again, my brain was different. So it's like I was eating a lot and I'm like, oh, this is kind of a lot. I was like, gotta do it. You know, I'm going to do this stupid deficit after. And gosh, you know, I think I went too long. That's how I feel. I keep telling Eric, I'm like, I think I waited too long. I feel like Titanic, you know, when they were going to go find people after. And they're like, we waited too long. That's how I feel. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, did I wait too long? But it's like, I'm doing it. I'm almost done. The week ends Thursday. So
Yeah.
but I think this is the best way. Would you suggest, is there anybody you wouldn't suggest do it this way? Or do you think this should be pretty universal?
I think if I had to pick a side, black and white, I would say it's pretty universal because I don't think that everybody that like gets out of the deficit is going to massively overeat. I don't think that. But also, again, just even from the vanity aspect, I'm like, well, you work so hard,
Yeah.
but in so much like, in
Yeah.
my damage, because a deficit is not, again, a deficit is not good, you know?
So that's what we'll say. It's a stress for sure.
For sure. So
It
it's just,
is.
you stressed your body out a lot. You put so much on it. And again,
Especially in this stage, it is a stress. Yeah, it's a sacrifice, like to the point of sacrifice, I would call it. It's tough. It's not that bad when you're actually overweight. It really isn't. It's not bad.
No, I told you for some reason when I started at my most recent highest weight, when I started at 213, it was cute and giggles till I got to 200, and then I was like, ooh. I was like, wait a minute.
You probably had some stores or something, and then they just dried up. And it's like,
probably because yeah, from 200 to 190, I was like, this isn't fun anymore. I was like, this isn't cute, like yay me seal clapping, you know. I was just like, I was like, this actually feels like work now. Ew. And then yeah, from 190 to 180, I was like, I'm in hell.
Yeah.
I'm in hell. Like, there's no gaslighting, there's no pretending, but like I told you, I wasn't the kind of person to complain or be like, oh my god, I'm terrible, because like I said, you and I only have one other friend who has ever been in a era, because all of my other friends are thickums. But you know, I'm just like, I'm not gonna complain, because to me that's like demoralizing, and I'm like, well, I don't want people to feel like, oh my gosh, well, like, you know, if you're like a robot and you like don't feel anything and you're actually fucking miserable, you know, it's like, holy shit, what am I gonna feel like? And I'm just like, well, you want the real answer?
Yeah.
Like ass. So
well, and I tell you guys, because a lot of you guys have listened and you're like, I want to be prepared. And I'm like, just be prepared. If you are prepared for it, you know, I tried to cover the spiritual side of it quite a bit. That was a huge part of it for me. And like, if you are a deep thinker, even if you're not, you're going to end up thinking a little deeper. I think that's why we see a lot of people like talk politics and stuff when they're in a vanity weight era, or they'll talk about like money and like a lot of philosophical things, which isn't bad. I mean, you can really work on yourself. Like for me, I've told you guys my attachment style issue has been a huge crux of this. And that's like a very deep emotional core thing to work on. And you can really do a lot of work but it is also exhausting and it's not practical all the time. So it does have to end at some point. So with that, I guess we're good. Let me think. Is there anything else I wanted to ask you? Oh, I think I just want to say too, it helps with the fear of regain a bit too, because when you start going up on a psychological level, you feel like you're going to start gaining. But because you're still in a deficit, you still see yourself going down, or like you still look smaller. So that helps from a psychological level too.
Yeah.
So it's a good bridge. He's being overtaken by dogs.
I am. Come here, my big shark. Come on. My handsome boy, who's actually a girl. She's going to be the magic school bus for Halloween, you guys.
I know. He's going to do like a magic school bus theme.
I am.
I'm the diet culture vampire for Halloween.
My
But
yeah,
just
a deficit. My big girl needs one still.
She needs to be in a deficit. She does. She's very overweight. How much does she weigh again? We have to put her weight on blast because I have a little
Oh my God, no.
a little beef with Roxy. How much does she weigh again?
Oh my God, Roxy. He's outing you, girly. Clearly not that much if I can hold her. Oh, baby. No, I think she weighs like 90 pounds. She's a female lab.
How much?
I think she weighs like 90 pounds and she's a female lab.
And how much are they supposed to weigh?
Allegedly, according to the internet, 70.
Roxy.
Which 20 pounds for a dog is a lot. That's not
Yeah,
cute.
that is a lot. She's big. She needs to get it together. You need to have Julian Michaels yell at her or something.
My poor baby. But gosh, she's such a big baby. But no, I think all in all and everything that you covered, yeah, no, I would say, just to add on, yeah, Universal I think would be the best because I think a lot of people, yeah, they can probably, the fear of overeating and the fear like of seeing yourself bigger.
Yeah.
I don't think it like, I don't know, or I don't think it would build up to like an ED type of thing, but also it's just like, oh, like, I feel like a lot of people would be disheartened or just so disappointed and they'd be like, oh my gosh, like, no, I need to, like, I can't do this, or I need to go deeper, or something in them can snap, I guess, because, like, obviously if I just started eating, I'm in touch enough to know, or at least clearly if I was 213 walking around like Meghan Trainor, but confident enough to at least know that, like, oh, like, again, I'm not going to gain a bajillion pounds, which a lot of people think, but that's not true. And yeah, I just think it can activate a fear response in them where they're just like, oh no, like I can't do that. Like, oh no, I'm gaining. I need to go lower again, or I need to do it again. And they can get caught, I guess, in a cycle. And maybe, I know, not her and her ear fetish. But naughty girl, bad magic school bus. But yeah, no, I just think slow and steady, because to me it's like, I know it's excruciatingly painful mentally and maybe sometimes physically depending on how sensitive, but it's like you've already done it for like time. Just see it out carefully to avoid the possible negatives, and then once you're like out, baby, it's time to focus on recovery. And by that I mean, like, let's take care of the raccoon bags, or whatever other problems we may have, whether it's like hair
deficiencies,
or yeah, that too, especially, yeah, because it's like, again, in a very low calorie diet, it's hard to realistically get like everything well rounded. There's some days where it's like, oh, I need to get this, and other days I have to get this. Like, I don't think it's possible to get everything through food.
Yeah, it's hard.
So
yeah, so you just have to be aware of all that. Like, I have to work on my iron and stuff still when I'm done. But yeah, I mean, I think that that's all prudent advice, and I think it is a bitch to do. I'm not going to say it's not hard. It is. But it's like, it's the same thing with doing the vanity weight era in the first place is hard, and it is a bitch, but it's still worth it. It's like, it's rewarding. It's the same thing on the way out. Like, if you're looking for that spiritual growth too, you still have it on the way up too, and it kinda the intensity of it, I still feel it going a little bit lower, and so I think it'll be like a nice, gentle release from that work as I go up. So it's like it's good because you don't I think you wanna flow. You don't wanna snap. You wanna flow out of it. And I think that in the toxic ritualistic, which I will just mention it very briefly, we always wanna snap because it's always black and white. And this is a gray thing that I think is it will make it more likely that you will sustain it in the long term, which is the whole point. And a lot of people are looking at me now and they're like, "Are you gonna keep it off?" You know, and people are like and I'm like, "I get it," but it's like, "Hell yeah, I am. Hell yeah," you know? But it's like part of keeping it off is doing this, which is a it sucks. Roxy could never.
Do you have something to say about that? Or just heavy breathing? No, but
She's like, I thought I heard, I don't think I heard anything. She's a bully, you guys.
remember, she never said she was ugly.
Yeah, she does.
So,
She is one of those girlies. She's like, people say I'm fat, they never say I'm ugly. That's Roxy's little saying.
not you getting complimented on a lot. Stickums. No, but I do think it's very important to the whole flow thing because, like, I mean, I did it in my teens, obviously, the whole rushing and like
Yeah.
snapping as fast as possible. But to me, it's like, I mean, I still don't agree with it, but I can understand the pressure, I guess, per se. Again, if
Yeah.
like you're in a career or field or whatever where aesthetics is super important, like you're a model or an actor,
Hmm.
then I'd understand the whole like speed and necessity of it. But it's like, if you're not, again, I understand it's excruciating and painful and you just want to be done sometimes. But it's like, honey, like slow and steady is such a way to go. And like, it is honestly like, for a lot of people that need it, it can be mentally healing,
It's
because
rewarding. Yeah.
like I've told you, it's like I don't have these problems anymore, and like this journey obviously showed me that I don't have any sort of problems with like food or weight or whatever. Because even like throughout my again journey that took too long because of my eating, um, I never felt bad or any kind of way. I was just
Hmm.
like, oh well, Eric, duh, you didn't lose or you gained an extra pound.
Yeah. You kept things realistic. Hmm.
I was like, come on now, sweetie. Did it prolong my journey? Yes. But was I freaking out? Was I having episodes? No. I
No.
was just like, oh, like, you're fine, Eric. Just get back on track tomorrow or just keep it up. It's all fine. Like, I never, because back in the day in high school, I'd probably have the mentality or thought of it's like, oh my gosh, well, I totally messed up today. So tomorrow we're fasting or like something
Yeah.
terrible.
Which that doesn't.
So, and that's what I'm saying. This journey helped me see,
Yeah.
oh, there's nothing wrong with me anymore, or like I don't have a issue, whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. It's just like,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm just, oh, let's just get back to it. Or it's like, and also
Hmm.
I don't have the rush of like a job of mine demands it, where it's like you have a role
Yeah.
coming in 2 months, you need to do it now, and I'm like, oh, blah, blah,
Yeah. That too. Yeah.
so I
No,
don't
yeah,
have.
I agree. I agree completely. And I think for me, it has been healing too, because I think when we have hinge, when and we're very big, we don't care enough about our appearance. And so thinking about that, like that I think is healing for me. And like actually trying a bit and trying more and stuff, it's like, oh, this is actually healing. And so I think that it's something that we don't think about because it's one of those things where when we're in that hinge side very deep in it, it's like we just think, well, I could never get there anyways, or I could never this, or there's no reason to even try. And you just like think about it that way. And it's like, then you get to this point, it's like, well, I can try. And then it's like it does improve. And then you're like, oh, okay. And then it kind of inspires other things. Like I'll probably care more about style and stuff. And, it just kind of it inspires you in a way that is healing. I would describe it as healing. And it's a different phase too, because as you're in it, you look at the mirror and you look better as you go. And that can be healing too. And to a certain extent, it's kind of like high level healing for sure. Like you have to still be realistic, but it's kind of like it felt good for the first time in this era to be losing and looking in the mirror, and I just looked better. I didn't look weirder. I didn't look just the same, but different. I actually look better. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, that was healing. So I think, you know, take that for what it is. But thank you so much, Eric, for doing this. I appreciate your perspective so much. And I guess that's it. Unless you get anything else to say. Unless if you have.
I guess the only thing I have to say from the vain perspective or vain side of things is that like
Mhm,
a lot of people think like vanity is like evil or so shallow or
mhm,
so blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to look nice. Wanting to look nice is nice, you know? Because there's a difference
mhm.
between wanting to look nice and like presentable or whatever versus like somebody who only places value on looks and treats you different because
Yeah,
of looks. You know, I'm like, that's
that's
totally
true.
because a lot of people always assume like, oh, well, aren't you just full of yourself or aren't you just vain or blah blah when you openly admit. Because I've never gotten that because I don't know if a lot of people like skip around that or they lie or whatever. But when people have asked me, they're like, oh, like why are you doing this? And I'm like, because I'm vain, you know. And they're just like,
Mhm.
oh, and they act like I just said something like so like mind-boggling or so like, well, that was deep because they're like, that's refreshing. You're open with your vanity, and I'm like, well, duh. I'm like, I have my health. What else is it? You know.
Yeah,
So it's like, come on now. But no, I just want to add that I guess where it's like, I don't know. I don't think vanity is an evil thing as way as people make it out to be. I guess maybe that's just the FA at work, but you know, but I don't.
it's a little bit. It's. I think there's a little bit of Americana cringe with that too. Like it's at least millennial cringe. I don't know. There's some kind of cringe line. There's some line of cringe that we
Mhm.
both experience where that's a thing, where it's like you cannot say that. But I just said it. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna say it. It's important because I think so many people just demonize this era, and it's like it's not a demonic era. It's fine. It's just be prepared, have realistic limits, and don't ruin your effort.
Pretty much.
Don't just waffle with this and don't do this over and over again. It's like, ugh, just finish. So
Pretty
that's
much.
kind of my thoughts.
And I
Yeah.
totally agree. That's why I revved it up the last month and I was like, nope, we're doing the 2 pounds because I'm so done. Because I didn't want to be in that constant loop of like, I'm gaining and I'm losing and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why I revved it up because
No.
I'm like, I don't want to glamorize or be like, this is so awesome. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so much
No.
because I'm always doing this and you can never do what I do. I'm like, F all that. I don't
No.
care about
We
doing
want
this
to live.
over. I'm
Right.
done. Like, I want to live my life, you know. I want to
I
be
do too.
the big girl because in a deficit, I'd be like, get the hell off of me right now.
Yeah, it's true. You
So,
need to get her in a deficit. You need to start documenting Roxy's weight loss journey.
any thoughts on that, girl? Just get the mic away from me.
He said he's going to make her an Instagram account. I'm waiting.
Oh, I know, you guys, and I finally got the name. It's Gossip Lab because she's a Labrador and she's in the lab gossiping. Gossip Lab. It's perfect.
She's very
But
shady. I told you guys she's a bully. But anyways, I guess that's it. So I will talk to you guys later.
bye.
And yeah, have a good one. Bye. Go ahead and end. Bye.